Aaron, with how good Max Fried has been for you guys, were you surprised to see him struggle against that Blue Jays offense?
They got a good team over there. Great offense. It's gonna, they're gonna put the ball in play, give you some tough at bats, give you some long innings. So, you got to grind out those outings. They're able to get to Max, but even offensively, we're not able to get anything going there to kind of back them up early on.
You mentioned the offense. How frustrating was it facing yesapp not being able to get anything going against him?
Yeah, it was tough. First time seeing him. He was making his pitches, kind of keeping us in between a little bit there all night. So, we kind of got to go in there late, but at that point it's a little too late. But we saw him now, and now we take it back home, and we've been playing with our backs up against the wall all year long, so it's nothing new for us.
What about his splitter made it so tough to pick up?
What's that?
What about his splitter made it so tough to pick up?
It's tough to say. I saw a bunch of sliders, heaters and sliders. It's just more the arm angle. He's kind of right over the top, releasing it right above his head. So you kind of, everything's kind of coming down into the zone, and you got to pick up if it's either going to stay in the zone or kind of drop down underneath. So, he did a good job kind of feeding us some in the zone, kind of feeding us some down out of the zone. And, we just got to, like I said, we got to pick it up, play better. And, we saw him now. Hopefully we can see him again.
Aaron, after a loss like today, do you guys get together and talk it over and talk about what's next, or do you guys just kind of treat it like like you've been here before?
Yeah, we've been here before. I even go back to, my rookie year in 17. We had a wild card game, and then going to Cleveland and, lose those first two against them. They were, division champs that year too, just coming off a, appearance in the World Series. So, we came back home, had another tough game 3, a little pitching duel, but, came out on the other side. So, we got experience. We got guys in here. We've been to the World Series, been in some tough moments, backs against the wall, especially all season long. So we just got to show up and do our thing.
Aaron, for you, the tiny sample size, and you're hitting well. Just the power has not come yet in the postseason. Just how do you feel at the plate right now?
Just trying to do my job, get on base, drive guys in when they're out there. Not trying to do too much. Let's help this team, and what's been great for us all year long is just kind of passing the time. Kind of what we did there late in the game, where a base hit, a double, another walk, a base hit, doing little things like that, putting the pressure on the pitcher. So got to keep that going and take that home.
You guys have had success against them back in New York, but what makes this such a tough building to play in?
What's that?
You guys have had success against the Blue Jays back home, but what makes this building such a tough place to play?
It's tough to say. We love playing here. We love coming out here. They had our number this year when we came up north, but no, it's tough to say. I'm not too sure.
Aaron, has it been at all surprising with just how quickly they jumped on you guys to start back-to-back games?
It's supposed to. Anything's going to happen. You never know if it's going to be a pitcher's duel till the end, or offenses are going to explode early on. So they've been able to do that both games and kind of put us at bay early when they were able to put up 6, 7, 8 runs. The first couple innings makes it tough to kind of climb back as an offense, but it doesn't phase us offensively. We still climb back tonight a little bit, but we got to kind of take it to them. When we get back to New York, we got to be the ones to score first and kind of put the pressure on them and kind of flip the script.
Aaron, that play in right field early, just the ball took a bad angle. Is that what happened?
Yeah, in that situation, I know Varsho's quick. I'm trying to beat it to the wall because I know it's going to bounce off that wall, and I know he's going to be trying to push, especially with, teams are trying to test my arm a little bit. So I wasn't able to beat it to the wall and kind of got there at the same time. Took a tricky hop off of it, but in that one, either beat it there or played off the wall, one or two.
What gives you confidence you guys could come back and win 3 in a row?
We've been doing it all year long. Had our back, like I've been saying this whole presser, we've had our backs up against the wall. We've been in some tough spots. Wild card series, lose the first one and play 2 elimination games. It's kind of what we did even at the end of the year where we're chasing a division. We were out there and we had to win every single game, kind of going down to the wire. So just go back, playing our baseball, put the pressure on them, and anything can happen.